Jungle Boogie.
Down with the boogie.
Jungle Boogie.
Boogie it up.
And greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Citadel of NewChurch. I'm your host, Captain, here to go over a recap with a random spin war with WHF2. Just a reminder, if I change some names, please forgive me, because I just feel like having a little fun along the way, even though I probably think you don't really pay attention to what I say versus what is shown. But until then, let's get into the recap, shall we? It was a random spin that was actually pretty well wore for the altar boys here with us. We almost got the perfect. I unfortunately gave the wrong spell to Undeniable for his second attempt on number 1 that Indominus Rex had done. Yeah, I screwed him over with the CC spell. My bad. He was supposed to have a jump and not a heal. That's probably why. But anyways, as a whole, a couple of our altar boys had some sweet 6-packs. We have Maydu there at number 5. Chastity Foil at number 6. We got Asi at number 9. We have Michelle at number 12. We have Sivas there at number 20. And Vishwa at number 21. We had 3 Town Hall 9s in this war. And we were screwed because all the way down was Town Hall 12 or 10s. So yeah, we just did nothing but scout. We love that kind of war. It's really thrilling. But until then, we can start getting to our recaps with number 2 and Undeniable. This was done, I think, in a 30-second plan because we like to plan our hits within the last 5 hours of war, if you've ever paid attention to our war match results and some of those bots and stuff like that. So he's going to start his AQ walk starting from 11 o'clock going counterclockwise. The baby is going to establish the funnel. Queen's going to slowly but surely try to take her time. And unfortunately, with the angle that she's going at, she's going to, for whatever reason, target a wall after that gold storage to get the elixir storage. The BK was there to help establish the funnel. The Grand Warden pedestal is still up and running for her to go to. But yeah, the queen is just most definitely not wanting to cooperate. She's going to shoot that wall for whatever reason. But anyways, his BK is helping establish the funnel there. So that way when she does finally come back up and over, she will go down that alley like planned. The BK finally does go in, actually gets to the cannon to get off a couple shots. Because of that, the wizard is in behind to help get the shots off of that, and also getting that wizard tower. With the angle that the healers are, that ice golem isn't going to do a jack shit to her. So basically, there's only thing that could potentially harm her is the Lunan and poison, but with the healers, she doesn't even care about the splash damage. After the sweeper goes down, she gets her job done of targeting the town hall. Doesn't even need to drop a rage on top of her because he has so many healers. And then over here at 11 o'clock, he's going to drop his hogs. Woo-woo! To start going counterclockwise. She finally gets the town hall, going to the CC, and then immediately after, drops the rage. And then 3 shots on the Shibubi Queen. She gone. Sending in the hogs there from 2 o'clock, coming in counterclockwise still. And with the late Grand Warden to make sure that he doesn't target the random wizards that he likes to do from time to time, or pups, whoever is paying attention. Because he's a royal douchebag. He will do that to you. No idea why, no idea how to stop him from doing that, because Supercell is perfect at, testing the game out. Holy, let's remember the ground love that they quoted for this last update, shall we? But anyways, the hogs are going to trigger that giant bomb. The tome is popped. So that way they're just going to be GG, absorbing those skeletons, not even getting phased. So at this point, he has so many hogs. They're so spread out that it's just simple cleanup at this point. Has his wizards back there following suit. So well done to Undeniable. Again, this was a plan I think he did in like 30 seconds, 1 minute, because he was crunching in the last half hour. Our next attack was Shishui. I think he did his within the last hour as well. Anyways, he's got Sui heroes over there at 9 o'clock. Taking their time at that town hall. Finally, the BK is going to step up, pop the Tesla, go into that. The Queen is unfortunately going to pop one of her own, but she's got the nice shots on that. She unfortunately as well has the Archer Tower trying to shoot her while she's on the storage. All is well in the game of Clash. She's just going to finally step over, pop the ability, take out the Archer Tower, Hits the giant bomb. Not ideal, but hey, it is what it is. She will drop before that wizard tower goes down. No, I'm a dirty little liar. Apparently I need to watch the recaps a little bit better than I had. Ha 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 ha. But anyways, he's going to start his low from there at 10:30, going counterclockwise. The loons are going to nut path very nicely onto that eagle. Hastes them in, so that way as soon as that goes down, the potential for them to come back to the air defense if needed. Nope, they go directly into the sweeper. Tornado Trap was triggered by only 3 loons, so all the loons that are going right down that nice little alley that he had between the hastes are going to be just fine and dandy. He's got a bunch of loons in the blimp, so that way they're all going to collapse directly into this core. Has his pups and minions up there doing cleanup while all this is going on. Does a double drop of the skeleton spell, pops the tome, so as she's trying to shoot the loons, she's basically dead meat at this point. Has the heal for the Inferno Tower, and then from here on out is just simple cleanup. Very well done, very smashed indeed to Mr. Shishui. Our next attack is going to be boop, boop, green on number 5. With this one, it's a newer version of the Electron. Instead of the blimp, you could just simply drop the slammer. It doesn't even have to focus onto the town hall, so you could drop it anywhere you like. I wish I wouldn't have to make that announcement, but hey, the fact that most people still have the mentality that a siege machine has to focus onto the town hall, it can hold you back, because there's one recap that's going to be coming up that absolutely demolishes the base simply because of that logic. But anyways, the Electro Dragon is slowly but surely trying to take out that baby dragon. The Archer Queen finally runs away, making you wonder, WTF, is he going to actually get this attack? So he goes over there back towards 8 o'clock to do a little cleanup. A couple skeletons were still up, so the BK is unfortunately going to have to take his time, one at a time swinging at them. But the recovery of this attack was just phenomenal, worth the recap. So he gets the loons over there to the Archer Tower to make sure that the king is nice and healthy. So that way when he starts running in said direction, he's going to keep going, hoping that he was supposed to retarget to that air defense, but he doesn't. So the queen will instead because of this nice Valk that finally popped out. And then, hey, look at that. Free shot directly at that Archer Queen. Pops the ability, so that way she's also going to have some juice when she goes to that CC, hopefully to get to the bomb tower to help with the Lalo. Yep, she does go to the bomb tower. Sweet. And then she's just going to die while all these hounds and loons are coming in from 11 o'clock going counterclockwise. Seems like there's a lot of bases that has this general kind of setup. Makes you wonder. But anyways, he's coming in with his Lalo, hasted directly into that eagle. There's so many loons on top of that thing. It's almost a one drop, but unfortunately just not enough. This is the second wave of them coming in. Had to help establish that. A bunch of air skeletons unfortunately pop there into the core, but with the ground expo, nothing is really going to harm them. That electric dragon is still up and running with almost full health. So all those loons that were slowly but surely petering out, his splash of the electro shockwave is just going to pick off those skeletons as well as taking out some of these defense. He still has the hound up for the love of Jesus. And boop, there he goes. Yep, the hound did pop for the help for the cleanup. So the Electro Dragon is the MVP, as well as a whole bunch of minions and pups doing their cleanup. So well done to the Green Goblin for the nice recovery. That was yet again, I think that one was done in the last 10 minutes with maybe a 2-minute plan. He was discussing it a little heavy because nobody was on to get him the siege immediately when he requested. Our next attack is going to be Chastity Foil on number 6. This one, we got some hookers helping establish a little funnel with cheap archers there at 12 o'clock, as well as over there by 10. The AQ, her only sole purpose is to try to go there at 11 into that alley. Archers be damned, they get one shot by the wizard tower. Nobody saw that coming. Rages the queen that helps beat her up because he wants her down that alley. After the wizard tower goes down, here she finally starts to do what she's meant to do in life and just totally wreck some shit. Expo's slowly but surely trying to take his time to do this, gets the extra rage to make sure that when that storage goes down, she's still inside to give the 3 shots to this enemy queen. 1, 2, and shabooped. That one was 4. Sorry. Anyways, he's still going. The air defense is unfortunately targeting his healers at this point. The tornado trap is dragging her into the range of the multi, but it doesn't matter. She just moves closer to the air defense to remove it, so the healers are still up. So the tornado trap actually ended up helping him out. Again, you might want to place the tornado trap in an ideal location. That one, not so much. Anyways, now that she's moving forward from her new location, look at that directly at the eagle. Now that the Grand Warden is tome up there is finally shooting at the healers, now she's in risk of actually going down. The Slammer is just slowly but surely taking that stuff out, with some hogs in the Slammer itself. From here on out, he's got the Wizard, unfortunately targeted to the BK, so he's just, doing his douchebag things like he likes to do. Still has the 3 hails in the bag, drops the first one at the bomb tower, splash damage for the Wizard Tower, and that giant bomb that was poorly placed. Hogs are still going deep, drops the second one after the Inferno Tower, so as soon as those guys go stepping into the Inferno Tower, getting nice and healed, and then afterwards as well. Grand Warden finally realizes his purpose in life, rejoins the Hogs, and keeps going forward, so that way they can survive the 2 Teslas and Archer Towers back there. Couple skeletons are trying to wreak havoc, but once the Hogs, congregate all in one junction of themselves, they're all good to go again. Pops the tome. Still has a heal to drop directly onto these 2 if he needed. I think he actually swags it at this point. Yeah, he does. Sweet. And at that point, it was just simple cleanup. And well done. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to show another one because fuck their bases. They're going to be shown. With this one, he gets some sweet bowler bounces over there by 10 o'clock. Just to establish the funnel for the AQ to go in. Gives those healers at a nice angle so that way they will not be anywhere near that air defense when she starts to march forward. The bowler bounces are still doing the cleanup over there by 9 o'clock. A wizard up there by the town hall. He's unfortunately taking some mortar damage, but it doesn't matter. His only purpose was to remove basically the 2 buildings over there as well. She steps forward into the air defense. She's going to keep going counterclockwise. Drops an early wall breaker to make sure the pathing that they'll take. Drops a couple more afterwards. And then rages them so that way, shaboop, the wall is open. Gets a second junction open as well, just for shits and giggles. CC has been properly dealt with the rage poison combo. Imagine that. BK is beating on a random BK over there. Sweet. Wizard almost gets that Archer Tower down. That would have been sweet. AQ is right there at the Expo, and then the next building is the Eagle. Mwahaha, can you dig that? And with the angle that he puts this jump at, it is just basic GG. Look at those skeletons poorly timed their hits. Rages her up because he knows exactly where she's going next. Directly into that enemy Archer Queen. She's going to get 3-shotted and die. Drops a couple hogs over there at 8 o'clock to help establish the funnel. But then once they get going, hogs in at 7 o'clock. Slammer there at 5 to get a couple more defenses. And tank for a whole bunch of those buildings. Look at all these hogs congregate directly into that Inferno Tower and Expo in the heel. Loving life. Pops the ability for the I can't even say the word Archer Queen. So that way she can keep moving. Unfortunately, the healers are now in the range of the air defense, so, it is what it is. Hogs in the tome. Skeletons are barely doing anything at best. Queen is still up and running, still doing cleanup. Finally gets over to the skeletons, still has a heal in the bag just for shits and giggles if he ever needed it, but he doesn't. So another attack that he does with hogs with a swag heal. So well done to him. For our next attack, we got the Buffalo Roam at number 10. This one, we got the regular Electron with the blimp. This still is viable if their bases are asking for it. Because again, the ground is getting some work. Way to go, Supercell. You are the greatest. Taking his time, deciding where he wants to go with this loon deployment. 3 loons onto this wizard tower is enough to tank for that guy. Gets the nice red bomb pop, so when his Lalo starts to go from later on, they're G to G. Electro Dragon takes out the enemy queen, takes out the Expo, and then he's going forward deeper into some more wizard towers. Just look at the amount of coverage that he got from just basically a CC and a Rage. Oh, and 2 clone spells, obviously, but just look at that. It's wide open. Drops his Sui heroes directly on a Tesla farm. From here on out, it's GG. Those loons just completely decimated the backside of this base. Drops 2 loons over there at the 2 and 3 o'clock range in order to get those mortars. So that way he could start a Lalo over here at 7:30, going clockwise. Haste the loons that go from the wizard tower directly into the inferno, so only 1 hound will pop. All these loons are going to collapse directly on the air defense as soon as the hound gets almost to half health. Has another portion of the Lalo coming over there at 1:30. Loons are going to be hasted from the archer tower to go directly into this bomb tower, so as soon as those hounds are ready to potentially pop, air quote, they won't be in the range of the multi, and those pups are going to stay up and thriving. So many loons that this multi-inferno is just basically useless. The hound is even at half health. Has a swag poison because, again, his electro portion of this just demolished the base. Well done to Beffo. Our next attack is Eliza on number 15. Shadoody. Another version of this attack with the Slammer instead of the Blimp. Again, a base that's just basically asking for it. Because we all know, Supercell, they know the greatest things about the game. Yay! So he drops the freeze onto the enemy Archer Queen and the baby dragon, so the Electric Dragon is going to just basically one-shot each of them inside of that rage, hoping to get a sweeper. Unfortunately, doesn't get that in his favor. They say, screw it, we're going to send our Sui heroes over there at 10:30, clean up the rest of those skeletons, has the baby there for cleanup, so that way their sole purpose is just to remove the 3 defenses that they're immediately targeting. Pops the BK on the enemy BK, so he just drops like a ton of bricks. The wizard kind of softened up that elixir storage, but unfortunately they were petering out at that point because of the wizard tower. Pops his ability for the Archer Queen. Skeletons, unfortunately, are too much to be overcome, so he's going to start his Lalo down, or couple of a funnel there at 6 o'clock, but he does start majority over from 1:30, 4:30, the push inside of the base. He does have a couple going inside of the air sweeper, but because it's focused more on the hound versus the loons, they're going in unanswered and unpunished, and they're just going to overpower that air sweeper as soon as that expo drops. Nicely done for the Inferno Tower that it's targeting the only like 3 loons that were going after it versus that hound, so it had time to tank. So all these loons are slowly but surely collapsing on the air defense, the expo. It's just cleanup at this point. Hidden Tesla up there by 12 o'clock was left unnoticed, but because of that, has all those loons, the 1 drop on the town hall and the storages. For our next one, we got Dwight on number 18. Again, another one that just basically was asking for it. A Slammer going in for the Electron. Sends in the test loon to make sure that any traps would be triggered by it, and as well as the fact that it actually triggers a Hidden Tesla and gets the Expo and Archer Tower fire before it goes in. So when it finally does go to decimate that thing, it's going to collapse on the Expo with the nicely placed Rage clones, so all those loons are just going to start wrecking havoc. The freeze on the enemy queen takes her out, the Electro Dragon focuses on the baby, takes it out, and that core is basically decimated at this point. Electro is alive just enough in order to get that last air sweeper before he drops like a ton of bricks. BK is tanking for the Archer Queen. He's going to keep going counterclockwise while the Queen goes to take out the Archer Towers and the Wizard Towers right there. Does trigger the rest of that CC, but at this point he truly just doesn't even care. She does go over to the Valks. She's going to focus on that wizard tower, and before the ice golem actually starts hitting her, it is down. So he doesn't even care what happens over there. Lala was coming in from 3 o'clock, going clockwise. All those loons into the nicely placed hastes, just one at a time, slowly but surely making their way around. Hounds are popping just as the loons are coming into the each and every air defense. And at this point, he's got so many pups, minions floating around, it doesn't even matter. A bunch of those loons are going over there by 10:30 to get that last archer tower before they focus on those two storages with high hit points to finish the cleanup. So again, well done to him. Our next attack is Maxiel at number 19. Over here, he's got a nice little bowler bounce onto the mortar. And a couple wizards over there at 9 o'clock to help establish the funnel. Until he finally sets the golem with the AQ behind to slowly pick off these buildings. With the ram trying to go into the junction there at 8 o'clock, directly in between the archer towers, so that when everything collapses in there, it's going to be a nice push into the air sweepers and the enemy archer queen. It is nice that she focuses on that wizard tower there at 7:30, and then she's going to go into the core with the rest of the kill squad. Unfortunately, that Velk does escape the poison range, but the BK is going to pop his ability. 2 shots and she's down. Tried to freeze poison to slow down the dragon and the loon because the queen was slowly but surely taking her time to get in. But with the rage heal for the bowlers there in the core, all of that is getting decimated as well. The single inferno tried to target on the archer queen, but she steps out of range just in the nick of time. The giant in the CC tanks for the queen as she takes out the cannon before finally stepping up to pop the ability directly onto the enemy inferno tower. Enemy inferno tower. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, starting over there at 11 o'clock, going counterclockwise with his Lalo. Imagine that. Nicely placed loons, nicely spread out, so that way he could just slowly but surely drop where needed for his hastes. Drops them in to collapse on that wizard tower. Although there's a couple air skeletons still floating around, it's no big deal. Nothing really much at this point is really going to hurt them. Still has a loon in the bag. Still has a haste to drop onto this inferno tower if he wanted it. And he finally does. To help speed up with the cleanup. Boop, boop, which has basically already been started with all of the minions and pups that are floating. So well done to him. And for our last one, we got State of the Mind, blah, 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 at number 22. This is one of those kind of fun attacks where it's like, if you're seriously going to be stupid enough to put your enemy archer queen, your archer queen, CC, air sweepers, a lot of high value buildings and things like that in one compartment, yeah, you're asking for a skelly drop of such nature. Just look at that. It's completely decimated. And then from here on out, it's going to be just basic, again, Suihiro Lalo. He was hoping to get that Inferno Tower, but he does have enough to keep the Inferno Tower up and running. Spoiler alert. Enemy Queen is unfortunately going to have to trigger the ability slightly soon. And because of the way that archer stepped up and triggered the skeletons, they are going to focus on the Queen before she can finally drop the Inferno Tower. He does start his Lalo over there at 7:30. The loons are going to pass pretty sweetly, although be in range of this air defense here, but also keep going counterclockwise. Go in the haste, take out that cannon, go directly to the air defense itself, triggering some SAMs with their death, and that loon just drops like a ton of bricks. So all those loons over there at 10:30, slowly but surely trying to collapse over there to the 2 o'clock range. Just taking his time. The Hound is still tanking. Still has his CC loons in there to help take out these Expos. Drops the haste to help them get into that Expo and Wizard Tower. Drops the heal for that last Wizard Tower. All those loons are only getting picked off because of the slow but surely Inferno Tower and the air defense that is doing work. But at that point, He's got so many loons, it doesn't matter. He's just going to overpower it. He has one pesky hidden Tesla there at 12 o'clock. Wish he would have had a loon in the pocket for that, but hey, it is what it is. He still had to clean up, and well done. And with that, it is a end to our recap with our war with WHF2. Wish we could have said it was a great war, but they did have to dip quite a bit to even stay in contention, while I think we had only 3. And we were down 3 Town Hall 10s as well, so the fact that we came back with, again, the last 5 hours like we usually do, very well done to us. Again, well done to Green. A bunch of attacks were done within the last half hour, simply because he is a madman. But with that, I wish you a happy holidays and have a good one.